once or twice.
Keep trying to measure your drops on the inside.
All right, it's ready for
I
video.
just wanna make sure that they're,
So I'm gonna speak, you are live at 87%,
because I may actually don't have.
which means.
Oh, internet?
So 87%.
Yeah, we're trying it out. Problem is right now, oh, we already did, please go for it. Problem is that right now it requires my truck parked next door to the building. Because my truck is supplying the internet for the stream. We do, but not fast enough for a video stream like this.
Yeah. Then I'll show you the way you're gonna have to go that day because I'm gonna
I can tell you right now, my wife and I are both fortunate because she doesn't. She just got it on.
Now we both just.
So
Okay, so basically.
I do a little bit during like allergy season, but that's it. YouTube is not the same as it maintains from
But I do have you down for the Sarah. No, we sound like two podcasts. I didn't get that many. But I still haven't seen the.
I'm a light sleeper. The last time I had a really bad anyone who was out there around actually about this time every year. And there's one fellow in particular who snores a lot, and if he is in a, and I had him, because the cabin, we have a cabin that seems like 30 people. It's the sleeping level is up on the second floor, and then the first floor is just all common area. He happened to be my roommate. I got there early, and I moved my stuff into the room. TH3, and I came back like later in the day, and there was another bag of stuff on the other bed, and I'm like, oh, I wonder who my roommate is.
The one for that.
And then when I found out that it wasn't, like, oh, no, so I ended up every day I would sleep on the couches down the ones.
It's a TH3 junior dash.
Like I said, not my wife's source. I mean, it's one time I got this double sweep this router, my cell phone, my sister, Allie, and low forward.
Come out of the shed and he lives in New Mexico.
We do have somebody here.
Again.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. Okay, I see the next few minutes, if somebody else comes up. So I'll just start with my own comments. Now, is this, I can't tell by any feedback, is the microphone working satisfactorily for the back of the room? Okay, super. All right, one security issue I was put down into the floor. So that's a couple of little security issues that should be addressed. So anytime if you're the last person here, or even think you're the last person here, lock up behind yourself. Yes, sir?
There's a checklist on the door.
Okay. Always unlock the restrooms, and then the board will take care of them at the end. But be watchful of things like that. For this weekend at the NAMI, we still have one volunteer position available. If anybody would like to, it's down in Bisbee at the traffic circle working with Bill McNabb. So we could use one more person there. It'd be a good experience for somebody and a good help for the club. So yeah, if anybody would be willing to do that, just talk to me during the break. Some of our upcoming events, upcoming rather quickly, to wear either Kara or Racy's shirt, or if that's not possible, something that identifies you, or a khaki shirt with your name badge would probably work. But yeah, tomorrow from 5 to 8 in Veterans Park, just look for the MCU. On the lookout for something, be a good chance. We'll make sure there's coffee and donuts. The Christmas parade is something else coming up in the near future that we're still going to be looking for volunteers for. That's on December 2nd. And I guess we've got a meeting tomorrow for that, Bob? What time is that meeting? 2 at Chamber Office? Good, thank you. Then our holiday potluck is on December 9th, Saturday, December 9th. And Al is looking for one more in January, and that's going to be in the Washukas this year. I've had more chances to work with the event staff in recent times, and they just in talking to them, they are very, very grateful for all the time that you folks put in, practice using our handheld microphone, or I keep saying microphones, our handheld radios for public service events, and of course, it's a good chance to test the radios and batteries too. They don't pay us. Well, we got a nice check from the Tour de Zona this spring, but as a general rule, they don't pay us except in T-shirts. They pay us in T-shirts, and for those of you that are participating this weekend in the NAMI, I've got some taco and Pepsi tickets, or burrito and Pepsi tickets at the food truck that's going to be there. So you get a T-shirt and a Pepsi. I want to thank everybody for the effort you're making in keeping the grounds a bit neater here lately. Special thanks to Lee for all the work he's done in cleaning up some of the stuff that keeps getting collected here under the Ramada. So it's looking a whole lot better. Thank you, Lee. And during our break, we'll be having a short swap session if anybody would like to trade anything tonight. That's all I've got. So I'm going to pass it on to Andrew, the Vice President, for his report.
Introductions?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. We always do that tonight. I got so anxious to run my mouth, I didn't give a chance for introductions around the room. So if we'll start with the Vice President and Secretary's table.
Stephen, W7WIL, Sierra Vista, Secretary.
Andrew, W7SVT, Sierra Vista South Southeast, Vice President.
Al, KD7KD, Sierra Vista, and board member at large.
Johnny, AI7MV, I'm from here in Hereford, Arizona.
Wayne, KJ7GLF, Sierra Vista.
Neil, KG7IHO, Sierra Vista.
Paul, WA7UWG, Sierra Vista.
Who in the town?
Over to you, Mike.
Mike, N0ZHC, Hereford, equipment Nazi.
Scott, K7YSV, Hereford.
Ken, KX66, Sierra Vista.
Doug, KC7LIN, Sierra Vista.
Randy, KM6EQG, beautiful downtown Hereford.
Dean, KM6GMR, Sierra Vista.
And Vince, AA7JV, Tech Director from Whetstone.
Bob N7INK, Sierra Vista.
Lee, K7OED, Sierra Vista, Chief Troublemaker.
Bob Lee, W5OBT, Sierra Vista, Treasurer.
And Tom Yarbrough, K0ABP, Sierra Vista. So again, welcome everyone. Now I'll turn it over to
There we go. So we got a lot of interesting things coming up. So first off, we're going to talk about APRS. So it has been a minute in coming. The original reason why we set about working with APRS is we actually have it mounted up at the site up on Juniper Flats. We noticed that there were additional, really faded out. And the reason for that is new radios that are doing APRS favor eye gates automatically. And so when that one's up there, it just wasn't doing all that much for us. When we brought it down, found out that the packet controller was nearly deaf at this point and wasn't really doing a good job for us anymore. N0ZHZ donated a new one MFJ, I can't remember what it's called, a TNCX, an MFJ one. And by the effort of N7CK and Bob, we were able to get it all troubleshot, got it connected, got it working, and now it is among the top 10, I kid you not, in the country of total eye-gated packets. What that really owes to is that there are a lot of weather stations in our area, and they send a lot of traffic. So we're actually going to dial that down a little bit. Right now, we are at almost a 70% duty cycle on the radio because there's so many, myself, W7SVT. And if I'm registered on any of the APRS network, it knows physically, because of GPS, right, where I am. And it will go across the network using the internet and pop out at an eye gate and then go RF. So we're seeing a lot of those from people that are all over the state using it to text message, don't forget the milk, or various other things. Now that's only out here at what, 15 feet off the ground. So very soon that is going back up on top of the mountain and will be providing that capability. Amongst other things, for those who don't know, APRS, you can send text messages over it. It's all unencrypted, right? So, but you can send text messages, you can actually check your WinLink email. There's all sorts of features and functions in addition to position reporting that that capability offers. There's a lot of YouTube personalities out there that are extolling the virtues of APRS, and so a lot of new hams are buying radios that have that feature and functionality, and so as a club, it's something of value there. So I'm excited that's going back up on the mountain. Lots of cool features and functionality that will be going on. Second, Lee donated a packet controller that will allow us to start putting together our WinLink FM station down here, our TNC for that. So there's already a mount up on the antenna tower out here, and we're going to be putting up a WinLink station. Right now, the nearest one is about 70 miles away from us. So just a neat function to be able to use, especially from an emergency communications perspective. They do have the capability of relaying RF only and doing some interesting features and functions there. All right, next, Winter Field Day. I know several of you came out to visit our Winter Field Day setup in the Dragoons last year. We were at the Lookout Point, just outside the Diamond by Sweet Rock in the, what is it, what would be called, West Stronghold area. And so this year we're going a little bit different. We found that being that the mountains were so close to us, we had a little bit of a difficulty getting to the east, especially after we gray lined. This year we're going to be going on to the backside of the backside of the Wachugas, not by Fort Wachuga. We have the exact ends across that and see what we can do. It's a site that Steve, Mike, and myself have done several POTA activations, and we got some great top-rate propagation out there. Some east-west, we were talking to Hawaii on 10 meters. It was a lot of fun out there. So we'll have those out there. We'll be taking out the 44-foot vertical, the invis, and an inverted L sloper. We're going to be setting up, just like last year, there's a limitation because of our class as to how many hours ahead we're allowed to set up our antennas. So I'll be going out Thursday night. We won't start setting up until 11 on Friday, and I've already had some of you already say that you'd come out there and help set up the antennas because we're allowed to set up 24 hours ahead of our actual activation. So 3 questions that were asked to me. Can you take a trailer out there? Yes, but not a long trailer. Can you operate from a trailer? No, you cannot. You can operate in the realm of our class. Like last year, we are using this kind of as not an official races event, but we are doing tests on disconnected operations, solar, batteries, to figure out exactly what we're physically capable of doing and how much juice is actually necessary for conducting continuous operations over a 24-hour period. So I'd encourage you, even if you can't come out and stay the night, I'd encourage everyone to come on out there and give it a look-see. In November, we'll have a strip map going around so everyone can see exactly where it is. Feel free to go out there ahead of time and take a look-see, see if your vehicle is able to make it out there.
What's the date again?
27th and 28th of January. Yep. Not sure. One other question that someone had for me. I'll catch it in an alibi if I can remember it. Sorry about that.
Thank you. Steven, anything from Secretary?
Aaron Wallace is watching right now, by the way. But we don't have a mechanism to count him as part of the quorum, as much as I would love to do so. We had never been below.
It's 27.
Below, well, we've definitely never been below 25. So I don't know why, but we made the rule and now we don't have a quorum. It's kind of a weird thing. But that being the case, I cannot accept a motion to adopt the minutes. So that'll be 2 months in a row now. So yeah. So just please, ask your friends that are members to come on.
Good thing to do is, like, I didn't even think about it, ask Doug, he don't like driving at night. I go right by his house almost, I can think about bringing it, so if you know somebody that doesn't like coming out at nighttime and driving, offer them a ride down, that would help a lot too.
But I have nothing else, sir.
Thank you. Bob, your report, sir?
This is the September report. Balance forward in our checking account, $10,443.10. We wrote the following checks: Wi-Fi, $54.95. Their power bill, $92.41. Bob Hollister for a cable, $87.25. Staples for 50/50 tickets. It's during the month because the only thing I had was the 50/50, which I will make this month. Our savings account in the Chase Bank, $5,534.45, and that includes 3 cents interest. Woohoo! Edward Jones, $250. A total in savings of $5,835.45. We have a CD of $10,000. Total cash on hand, $25,961.74. There's the report is on the bulletin board if you want to look at it. It comes complete with bank statements. Any questions?
Fine job as always.
Anything for us?
Nothing to report, sir.
Good, you're up.
I have nothing really new to report. All I'm gonna say is on the October 18th, Bob and I are going to the mountain to install the APRS. We're gonna put the antenna, we have to put the antenna up and run the wires, coax and stuff like that, so.
From a racing's perspective, it was pretty quiet last month, other than the Paradise outing itself, where we had approximately 150 credited hours for our operations out there. And we had one SAR training event on the 16th. We went out to Tri Canyon, we deployed the MCU, and for a mock search. Unfortunately, it was cut a little bit short because of a live mission. So that's pretty much Skywarn. The weekly reports are done, and I don't know what happened on the last one.
Andreas said he thought that, who's the guy that used to run it? Anyway, he thought somebody was gonna cover, and the guy got involved. Andreas was in continental training up in Phoenix, but
38, of which a large percentage, of course, was for the deployment out at Paradise. Upcoming events, already mentioned a few. One thing you may or may not be aware of on the 4th, which is Wednesday, is the nationwide FEMA emergency alert test. They're going to, I forgot what time of day it was, but in the middle of the day.
11:20 Mountain Time.
11:20 Mountain Time, your phone is likely to ring, cell phone. They are exercising that nationwide, so you'll get a little burp. I don't know what the text will say, but you should get a text message on Wednesday, so don't get all excited. It is just a test.
Ballistic missiles incoming?
No, I'm thinking aliens. That's when the aliens were due to arrive and they wanted to distract us.
Yeah, they wanted to distract us. So we've already talked about the Sky Island ride coming this coming Saturday. On the 21st, we have a busy 1,000 stair climb. I do have a full staff now, so that's good. Oh, the 10th of October, believe this or not, we're gonna take the MCU over to Fleet, and they're supposed to install our new 9-coil, that tube that runs around the mast, replace.
10th of what month, right?
Exactly, yeah.
It's a very special day they call Someday.
Someday. Stair climb I mentioned. Sierra's Christmas Parade, we will be supporting it this year. We know there is a change, not in the route, not too much of a change in the actual staging area where we will be working, but that road went down. So we'll be looking for volunteers in the future. And 14th of December, Kara 50th anniversary. I thought you were gonna say something about that.
I was gonna wait, I knew somebody else was gonna talk about that.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure we mentioned it.
I've got it written.
Okay, I'll let you handle that one. And then for the final report for Paradise, we got a lot of hits. I don't know what our number hits of people getting printed out there.
490 hits.
490 hits. And
Yeah,
I had,
that's, if you go there twice,
Yeah.
it counts twice, but
Right.
490.
hits. What we're talking about is if you got on our log, a couple of days later, you could go on to our website, type in your call sign, and you could print a special QSL card that we have designed. Thank you, Andrew, for putting that together. I really appreciate it. I received a total of $5. People sometimes, instead of a SASE, self-addressed stamp envelope, if you're not familiar with that term, they might just put $1 in there to pay for the postage or whatever. So I received $5. I spent $5.50, so pretty much broke even on that. But we did get several of those all mailed out, and they should have, according to the post office, should have all been delivered by Saturday. So we're good to go there. Let's see if I got anything else here to finish. That was it. Oh, that's it. If you are still interested, you have a question?
Yeah, about something else. The other night, I think it was the alert, the ERM alert for the deputy that went off the bridge.
Right.
I got an automated phone call. I never had that happen before. Is that something new?
A phone call as opposed to just a text? Interesting. I did not, I got the text.
It beeped, and then I think one of you guys lit up the text, and then I got my phone rang. And it said, check my, the voice said, check my phone.
Huh. That's new.
They must know.
What he's talking about was the SAR mission that we received during one of those high-speed chases. A deputy was in the process of throwing the spikes across the road, and he was on a bridge, and he fell off. And he has several injuries. He is still in the hospital. There was an update today I received that he's recovering, but there are some complications, so he's gonna be in the hospital for a while. But, and they did, by the way, got both the car and the person have been, put the person finally.
Well, I thought they used a tourniquet on him, so he must have had an open fracture.
Compound.
Yeah.
Broken femur.
his femur was the main bone, but I think there was more than that from falling about 15 feet off the side of that bridge. But, oh, and the final thing, I got a picture this afternoon of Hawkeye.
Yeah.
You
Not
know-
Hawkeye Pierce.
Not Hawkeye. Some of you know in the past, we have had a helicopter belonging to the sheriff's office, and its call sign was Geronimo. Well, this one is gonna be Hawkeye. It is over at the Douglas Airport, and they are getting it ready to go, so we will have some support. One of the comments that the sheriff made in the announcement is its speed capability. He said it's over 150 mile an hour cruising. So he said we should be able to keep up with those Dodge Chargers that are trying to outrun the police officers in their Tahoes.
Do they have a 30 caliber or 20 millimeter?
Didn't say anything about that.
The laser. Squirt time. It's a kinder, gentler day.
Carbon
What's
dioxide.
the official name of the test on the 4th?
It is the National FEMA Emergency Alert Test.
Thanks.
It will be testing the emergency alert system and the wireless emergency alert, WEA. You're right, 1120 Mountain Standard Time.
Yeah, when I was checking my news feed this morning, I saw one of the conspiracy theories as to what is really going to be happening on the 4th. So that's,
You're checking your conspiracy feeds.
no, it made it into the regular news.
Steve.
Oh.
Oh,
Mike, do you have anything on equipment?
So I talked with the board at the meeting yesterday. Those of you that have been to the Hamfest, you'll know we have a lot of really nice stuff that just never gets sold. So I've gotten permission that for the nice stuff that isn't moving, I'm going to make a proposal before each board meeting. Hey, here's what I would like to sell on QRZ, eBay, AliExpress, whatever. And we'll put it up. We'll see what it gets. So I'll propose to the board. They'll hopefully go along with it. Next day, we'll have this meeting, and I will be saying, hey, we're going to be selling this digital amplifier. Planning on setting a reserve price at $1.2 million. Any member of the club that wants it for $800,000, write me a check. $800,000, of course. A little bit of a discount, not that much. So, humble opinion. Another reason to come to the meetings is you might be able to get a even more of a break on some nice radio equipment. And that is all I have, good sir. Oh, and I sold the antenna that is in the field. I didn't tell the person I sold it to, but no, he knows he bought it.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't told him I plan on charging him a rental fee if he doesn't get it out of here by the end of October. And that is all I have, good sir.
Good going, Mike. Good going.
Question, Mike.
Yes, sir.
When you're selling a piece of equipment, are you gonna send that out like in a text or an email to the current members so that they know to take a look and say, oh shoot, I want something like that, so I'm gonna come in so that they're here?
I mean, that's a possibility. I will leave that to the board. My initial gut thought is to not do that, and if you want stuff, then come to the meetings. But that's just me.
We have to tell people, we have to tell club members if we're selling equipment and give them a chance.
Yeah, I'll tell them at the meeting.
I'm just trying to get more people in for that
Yeah.
meeting.
And then it'll be in the minutes after. Oh, that's a very valid point. I'm kidding.
That is good,
Yeah. All right. One other thing that I should have brought up, Mike, Bob pointed it out. We've got a special event station coming up on, is that December 14th?
Yes.
December 14th is Kara's 50th anniversary. And we're gonna have a special event station that day, running here from, what
times?
8 until 8.
8,
Okay.
local to 8 local.
Yeah, it'll be 8 in the morning, and we'll be operating right here. So anybody that would like to participate for an hour, a half hour, whatever, come in and make contacts. It's gonna be a fun day. So just contact Andrew so he can put you on the schedule.
Do a sign-up sheet next week.
Okay, thank you. Lee'll do a sign-up sheet.
And then we're gonna be doing a digital.
Okay, so the other thing is, because it's our 50th anniversary, we wanna do something on the QSL card, like the nice one that Andrew and Bob did for Paradise. We wanna do one for the 50th anniversary that captures our history. So, y'all go dig in your ancient files of stuff that's not digital, that's analog, freaking Polaroid snapshots or whatever. We're looking for the oldest pictures of Kara that we can find, and we're gonna try and put together a nice montage to go on the QSL card. To include recognizing Dale Green, K7RDG, whose call sign is the club call now. Probably Larry Larson, this is Larson Hall in his honor. And if you look around here on the wall, you'll see names and call signs of people who donated also. So we're going to try and recognize all the folks who've 50 years ago helped make Kara what it is today. So dig out your pictures, please. And I'll have a sign-up sheet next month for times to operate when we actually have the special event station on the 14th.
That is in the ARRL too.
It's listed on the ARRL special event station page already, yes.
Okay. All right, tell you what, before we get into, yeah.
So since we are going to do the digital, I'm updating the QRZ page to show that we'll have a digital certificate for that. And then I'll also be putting a link to, I'd like to say what times we're going to be there, back to the operators. People seem to like that.
Good.
To know who's gonna be
Who's going to be on that.
Okay.
Try to find some YLs, get Peggy and run people.
Yeah, there you go.
Adds 3-ish units.
Okay, well, at this point, let's take a little break, 10, 15 minutes. There's chocolate chip cookies in the back, thanks to Neil. And we're open here for anybody that wants to rush forward and volunteer for some of the open positions. Say what?
Right.
You are. Yeah, anything that happens first. Before we break, does anybody want to swap anything? Does anybody have anything they want to swap tonight? Or is anybody
If there's a furlough that happens next month.
Looking for
Going
ladder
around,
line.
I have a link to Weather Underground.
Who's looking for ladder line?
I'm looking for ladder.
But I really have a need for a single or 2-horse trailer that I could borrow for a day. I need to move my son's horse from his Douglas farm to a boarding location here in Sierra Vista, and it's really, really hard to find one, just to use it for a day to move the horse over here. I thought I had a line, but it didn't come through.
Okay. Well, why don't you talk to some of the SAR people that, like Rex Nolan, a couple of them that have horses that need.
Check up Mark, I'll bring it up to sorry.
Yeah. All right, does anybody else have anything they would like to swap or, looking for? All right, if I am not in violation of any other.
Now, if we could ask that, as a favor, nobody leave, that would be great.
Appreciate it, yes, just don't leave now, just take a break. Yeah, take 10 and just have a cookie and rush forward to volunteer for the open positions. All right.
That's a long ride.
I may have had to move his arm a little bit.
I've seen it. I've seen it recently. It did exist when it became a thing.
I haven't got that one.
I see
It,
I know he's been getting alerts saying parents down. I don't get that.
So do you wish you'd stayed home?
No, not at all.
Maybe because,
Not at all, Bob.
mainly the secretary just fell off.
No, it's not, well, it's very much fun. Take your time.
Oh, Doug.
Oh, wait, how you doing?
Stiff.
I'm tearing the roof off of the shed. Up about
I rode this morning, then I did some yard work, pulled some weeds.
It goes up and it goes down because our internet is. So one of the things hopefully.
Hey, man, on that 18th, are you going up? Is that Thursday?
Wednesday. Wednesday. Wednesday 18th. We're gonna go up and, the mount's already on the building, you just gotta put the antenna up, we gotta make coax for it and everything. Mount the antenna on the side of the front of our shack.
I'd like to go along.
Mount the antenna, mount the radio in there, when the coax inside, and plug it in. Now, I need to check out all the other repeaters in the county. I always like doing it this time of year, before the winter hits. And see what the interference might be. From years, whether their antennas if you wanna go, Denver plays the we'll be leaving here about 7:30 May.
Okay.
On Wednesday the 18th.
Wednesday the 18th, okay.
I go come up, then we go down.
So if something comes up, you're not gonna make it, just give us a call.
I plan on being here on the 18th at 7:30.
You haven't been up there before,
I've been up there, but I've never done anything with the radio. I've been up there before.
yeah, but you haven't seen the system, the radio. You see this, both CARE, EPG building we're in, and also the county. So this is a pretty good.
So you haven't been riding much?
Well, they're all in Albuquerque.
I had been riding a lot, until I got back last week. I 60 miles last week. I think I'm gonna go for a ride in tomorrow. My daughter.
We used to have trouble with
Ride again Wednesday. Then I'm heading up to Springerville Friday.
Association,
I was
Yeah, because yeah, St. Francis Professional Center.
They kept saying, we don't have a quorum.
Well, we used to go up onto the reservation where Weather Rock was cut. They had an area with snow. We leave it at a church up there.
I know you're coming away.
We're leaving it at a Baptist church in Springerville. They're coming down to get us to COVID.
Oh, yeah. So he's trying to find what's wrong with mine compared to what he has.
No, next week. We cut, actually, 4 days.
They're frustrating, that's why I told him.
We started about
like me,
8:30 in the morning and
he's
you
gotta
cut to
sign us
about,
up for that.
no, maybe 3:30,
He's
4
gotta
in the
look it up,
afternoon.
so I said, I can't even do it.
So what kind of
So he's
wood
gonna
are you
look it up
doing?
tomorrow.
No, I could primarily,
Until being in the
Oh,
water.
I get frustrated. I can take pictures and I can. Okay.
down, but we take out the step because it tends to be too long.
So they let you standing here?
Standing.
No, we got. Usually they want you to cut that.
Right. No.
And when is the start time?
So is it?
That will be the 21st.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was doing sous vide back before you could buy a sous vide
7th
controller.
and the 21st.
So at the time, if you wanted to build at home, you either made your own controller, or
for the
you
bike
bought
ride,
one
talk to
from
Tom here.
one of the scientific.
Yeah, I knew you were going to the ARCA meeting.
Okay.
Okay, how about
So
the,
mine was a
I didn't know how Bob was still in
controller.
charge.
Bob, I am.
A solid state relay.
Yeah.
And a old fashioned and so it would do the same thing. If
I just didn't want to mess somebody up.
Did
you find that on
anybody
the
else
store
that circulate the water?
Yuma.
Wow, that's nice.
Hopefully.
I don't think we'll drive to Yuma, but that's a nice, that's
That's
a
why
nice
we're
push
looking spending
phone tech.
$1,500.
Wow. Cause his, where's yours?
The guy told me what he wanted. You're good, you're good. No, you're good. What he wanted. You're good. I can argue.
Yeah.
So then I bought the belt at the same time.
Oh, wow.
At the same price, you know,
Oh,
so.
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm.
Interesting next week.
Oh, I'll tell you.
That would be really cool. That's what I was gonna say. I was at Sunrise a week ago Saturday. My son and grandson were doing a bicycle race.
Welcome
Actually,
welcome
Sunday
to Sierra
morning.
Vista
You'll
area.
be seeing us, we'll be bringing him out, cause he doesn't drive.
Here, we're already.
Alright, so we just need to get you guys ham licenses.
It'd be a little bit,
We'll help you.
We'll get you guys some ham licenses. It's easy.
Oh, yeah.
They're uncorrupted.
It's easy. And we'll get you on the rolls. Alright?
We're
we need some volunteers.
We need people.
Well, he was funny, he says, what are you gonna do now that you're retired? He said, well, we've been hired as a chauffeur. This is our first day of chauffeuring here. Whenever he needs something, we're gonna do
I guess
it.
we'll be at the bike thing.
Yeah, he's
You might as well join the club since you're gonna be here.
That's what I was just saying. Get them ham licenses though.
We know, do we have to get him a hand license first?
No offense, but sometimes I like to get in front of you when you were leaving out of here.
Oh.
And I would wait to make sure that there's somebody that you could follow. You know, and I always.
Well, there goes that plan.
And actually, somebody paid, check it
It
out.
is,
Somebody
he
paid
said,
this
he was really relieved we got back to where the city.
Tell me when that starts.
21 October. Right now, I have you down as a spare.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So I did.
One of the thoughts that
It just takes me longer to do anything.
setting up to get full board to do this. You know, like you're doing cool. You
This one I built. There's nothing really wrong with it. I closed the bottom of it, so it did underneath it. Didn't think about ground screws. Came up underneath it. You know, they just piled up a bunch of dirt, I guess, and the floor, beams are all. It's not really sitting right on the ground.
Yeah, I know.
Concrete boards that I put underneath it. Then I closed it on it. So
Aaron, how you doing?
Hey, Ron. You done messed up, Aaron. Came here.
I'll pick up the car, I'll build an RV garage. Could be an effort.
I actually thought about, you know,
To make my property.
I graduated at UNLV with an accounting.
And in order to be able to fit situated, I was in my driveway.
That doesn't really matter.
Having trouble. You know my neighbor right next door, actually on either side, I've talked to them.
James Sutton did
I don't know, senior minister on Choctaw behind me.
started talking about the
They should, they got enough trees. Guy 2 years to the east of me, across the street, I think he did 300 feet an hour.
We've been in
Which is why Nathan, the guy who owns the horse,
he came to Mexico State, got his academy degree,
long,
and then he went back to
was
San
wide, and like the room for slide horses.
And he went out to another guy that
Land in my property, it's gonna drive
for 37 years had his own practice.
have a couple of
We sold, my mom died, his mom died, we were isolated ourselves at home, his wife and 2 daughters in Orlando with her husband and 3 kids. We weren't seeing him, and he's like, life's too short, we're 67. And he's like, we're not seeing him, so we're.
I mean, the problem is where I was texting Steve. The problem is we're on Charlotte Rome, so yeah, it's
He just told
in the
us,
evening time.
we'll be out here, he's hoping to.
So we're fighting for bandwidth. And got a quote for 500 Wife said I couldn't spend the same.
Please take your seats.
That I could on my
Point of order, Mr. President.
It's a nice area.
We have a quorum.
Yay!
You're welcome.
And nothing to do, right?
Oh, yes, I got one. First, we do have a program on our schedule this evening. And is that okay?
Yep.
Go ahead, Al. All yours.
All right, Mr. Quiet, we're gonna try something. Okay. Stick that in your pocket.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's you. You're gonna want to stand in front of that. There you go.
Okay, this is going to be a short and sweet presentation. I apologize ahead of time because with short order to prepare, I'm quite unprepared. Not my idea. I got this design for this roll-up Slim Jim from a website on YouTube. The provider's name on YouTube is K8MRD Radio Stuff. And he posted this about 2 years ago. So I decided to build one of these things. You start with just over 4 feet of window line here. Start at the bottom right here. It turns out I didn't need to adjust anything. The darn thing just works. I've had this up for several months now. And I used it during our monsoon season. Yeah. So my plan is to deploy it on the bike ride this coming Saturday, and then again it's going to Bisbee, and if needed I'll have it up. I've got 2. The guy that built this on his, he used a crimp-on SO239 that he had ordered off of Amazon. I didn't have one, so I did it myself. This junction right here at the top is real. Just very common hand tools you'll need. Utility knife, one of those box cutters, works really, really well for taking out this plastic here. So between that knife and some pliers and a soldering iron and a few Band-Aids, that's about all you need. Fortunately, I didn't need those, but yeah, we're going to see how this works. If anybody has any questions, yeah, come on up after the meeting or whenever and take a look.
What's the name of the website for that one?
K8MRD Radio Stuff. This guy's got a lot of videos up, and like I say, this one's about 2 years old, so you want to look for the Slim Jim video if you're interested in this. And it's all metric, and I'm finding out that I prefer the metric measurement over fractions. You know, for instance, if you cut something 4.4 inches, well, what's 0.4? Less than a half inch, but it's, yeah, you know, it wouldn't be close, it'd get you in the ballpark. But you know, when they tell you 4.2 centimeters, boy, that tape, it's a cheap tape measure, but most everyone now has it. a metric scale on it. And I'm really enjoying it, and I prefer the metric. So, okay, any other questions?
It just, something like, you can obtain, inches that are graded in decimals.
Yes.
You know, so, and the problem is, it's not clearly labeled. And I have one rule with the home that has, decimal inches on the bottom and normal base 2 inches up top, you know, half, quarter, eighth.
Yeah.
And if you're not sure what you're doing and you get them flipped around and you cut the wood and you think it's gonna be 3/4 and it's actually, you know, 0.5 or something, so it's calculated.
Right. Yeah, and that's why I like the metric, you know. I was surprised when I saw this, you know, but I thought, well, I'll give it a try because I've got the tape. And it just works out, and being base 10, you know, it's so much easier. I like it.
Sounds like something a communist would say.
He's now buying his fuel in liters.
Yes.
Same price though.
I'm not ready to go there yet. But anyway, if anyone wants to look it over, talk about it, you know, come on up after the meeting. I'll hang around for a bit.
Can you do dual band or is it just single band?
This, at this point, is just a single band. And you told me yesterday about a modification to this, or one similar to this, that is 440. And the guy that built this tried it on 440, but it just wasn't quite resonant, you know, it was a higher VSWR, but it would work in a pinch. But yeah, you can build one of these that is a dual band. And this one is 2 meter only, so at this point. Anyone else?
Thank you, Val.
Tom, that's it, thank you.
Thanks, Al.
We have.
This is fixed. Get it back.
Yes, sir.
Lee, you don't get money. No, I don't get that.
Just get, put some money on it, you don't get it.
All right.
All right. Dude, go buy a lottery ticket before the draw tonight.
I think it's cut off at 8, doesn't it?
Now, as the secretary pointed out, as we came back from the break, we do now have a quorum, and we do have some business to conduct. So the first, I'm going to invite Vince with a presentation that he's got.
Okay, a few months ago, we submitted a grant to ARCA for a new antenna for the O2, and also a new set of duplexers, which will greatly improve the radio up there, and also be more compact. We were awarded, it's going to be $6,000 in equipment. They give us half of that, so we received a $3,000 grant, money-wise, and just deposited into the treasury. What I am asking is if the club wants to spend, they're motion for $6,000, so I can go ahead and purchase the antenna and a duplexer, which will be back in stock at the end of the month. That from Tesco. It's a commercial antenna. It's not a ham radio. It's a commercial antenna, commercial equipment, and it's rugged enough to last the mountaintop.
You convinced me, Vince. I make a motion to spend $6,000.
I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to spend $6,000 for an antenna and duplexers for our repeaters on Mule Mountain. Do we have any discussion or questions?
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else that will be required?
Bracketry or cabling or
No,
sandwiches?
It will be replacing, right now, we have a two-pole dipole. That was the APR antenna, that's what the O2 is on right now. It's just basically R&R, move the bracket down, mount in the same place, unless we can get it around the corner. You know, but all the cabling, coax, everything's up there. And the duplexer, same thing, it's just plug and play.
Is there any other maintenance that needs to be done on the repeater up there?
No, we got a pretty new repeater.
No, we got the repeaters new. We replaced it a year or so ago.
Okay.
And the new power supply and everything is.
Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Thank you, Vince. Make a note, Mr. Secretary, that motion passed.
Unanimously at that.
Andrew, you've got a presentation you'd like to make on our more than adequate Wi-Fi system.
Yes, so we are currently using RFC 1147, which is IP over avian carrier, which means right now we take the hang on, let me get to it. We take the packets that are going out to YouTube, and we tie we tie them to a bird, and that bird flies somewhere. And that's how we get our internet. So our internet is abysmal right now. We have a lot of issues with our weather station going up and down. We're trying to bring D-Star back online. We need reliable internet for that. And we would like to be able to reliably stream here. There's a bunch of reasons. So what we want to investigate two different options. And what I want to find out from the club is, do we want to spend that kind of money? We would be, regardless of which direction we go, we'd be spending about double what we spend on internet per month on a monthly basis, plus whatever hardware or setup fee depending on which way we go. We have two distinct options. One is Starlink. As a residential Starlink user here, we wouldn't have any of the availability caps. It would just be standard. That would cost us approximately $370 in used hardware. They're now doing refurbished Starlink hardware, Cochise there, and it will be $110 until the new Starship starts popping out little baby Gen 2 satellites, which will then lower our monthly rate to $90. The second option is to ask HPAZ to come out and do a survey and see if our situation allows us to get onto what they call their Pro network, which they offer to businesses, small businesses and whatnot, that has a higher bandwidth upload and download for us. Not just any internet will work for us. CIS has a limit, which is very small, on how much upload speed we
Room, based on the poor performance of our existing. Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to add a little note to this before we ask for that. So one of the other things to think about, yes, our internet would go up a little bit, but it would be much superior internet in either case. And in addition to that, we may actually be able to defray some of that cost by hosting our website, our website on-prem, here on site. Thereby getting rid of that Namecheap service that we're using.
It would save us approximately $17 a month.
As well as, we could also probably have at k7rc.org email addresses as well.
Then we have to spam filter, but
yeah. Right now, based on the rough calculation, we would save an additional $17 a month if we could host our website here as well.
Okay.
So that defrays it just a little bit.
So he's not asking for a motion at this time, but just a sense of the room, should we pursue this?
Okay. Did you mention the price of HapNet?
HP, I gotta find out what the price.
All right. So just by a show of hands, should we pursue this and improve our internet?
Show of hands.
Yeah. That was unanimous.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so you're all familiar with our internet here then. All right, thank you. So go ahead and pursue an advocacy.
Absolutely. I'll have to come out and site survey.
Okay.
And,
You want to pursue this tonight, Lee? Sure. Okay.
So, most folks who've been around with Cochise remember this rat-infested building we used to have next door to us called Morgan Manor. We spent $5,000 getting that hauled away last winter, and happy that it's gone. I haven't seen any rats around here since then. It's a good thing. But one of the things that we plan to do on our strategic plan that we committed with the county and with the BLM was to replace that structure. And we do have a $3,000 donation from a club member's spouse, Michio LeCount, for those of you who know her, towards the storage in. It does not come with insulation and drywall on the inside. Those were things that we would have to do for manual labor afterwards to make it actually a good facility to use for training in classrooms, meeting, and things of that nature. But they've been looking at a building here that's it's on South 92 by the Dairy Queen. Looks about like this building in the picture. And I think we may not get this exact building, but it will be one that's very similar to it. So I would like the club to authorize spending up to $7,000 to actually procure the building. And again, it's a reminder that $3,000 of that was donated, only $4,000 would be coming out of club proceeds.
What size is it?
Attempted that with Jeannie Shed years ago.
Okay.
And we ended up having to replace all the siding on the outside of that after a number of years. And so we just as soon have something that's already the frame and the doors and windows and roof. And then the only thing that we have to worry about is the interior and the electrical, as Dean said, not the whole building. Oh.
What's the surface or the preparation for the surface that will be needed before the building's placed?
We have a whole bunch of concrete panels that are like 24 by 24 heavy bunkers. They're sitting out there, the same stuff that was used for Morgan Manor.
One other comment we need to consider, if the club ever disbands, we have to take it back to dirt. So putting our own floor in concrete floor is something like we did here.
I just wanna make
is
sure
really
it's
a
flat.
bad idea.
Just
Would
just
come
make
in-
sure it's flat.
Yeah,
And off the
this-
dirt.
we would have to make sure that, like you said, we have the pads already, we would have to make sure that that was level before that they would come in and they would drop it down.
But it's fairly level already and minimal additional.
And also splashback when it rains, you wanna make sure that rain doesn't come back up and up underneath and
Right.
start swelling all that wood again.
We talked about skirting as an option too. Dean?
Pouring a pad would also change, we'll have to get permits.
Well, there would be a whole lot of cost for that, so
Because
we're not
soon as-
interested in pouring a pad.
That'd be more than the building.
Well, as soon as you pour the pad and put the building on it, it becomes a permanent structure.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a whole nother thing. Are we gonna have water out to it?
No.
Okay, then that's good, because if you put water in it, now it's habitable, and that makes it a different permit.
We're not doing a second
We're not
door,
doing this.
yep, and all that.
No, the folks we were dealing with are going to include the, any permitting is included in the price, taxes are included in the price. They were initially offering a 15% discount on some that they had promotions on. And when I explained who we were, they said, okay, we'll make it a 20% discount. So, they're willing to deal nicely, and, like Lee said, we may not get exactly one picture, because my gosh, the pamphlet was made a long time ago, but it'll be 10 by 20, and it'll have the specs that we say, we want a door here, windows here, that's what it'll have. We'll just wait till they have the one that meets our needs.
Well, 200 feet, we don't need a permit anyway, do we?
No. Well,
No.
It's a county facility. We are a county facility.
So, is that a yes?
so if we do,
No,
No.
no, don't need it.
If you put electric in, you'll need a permit.
Not necessarily. Again, we are a county building on a county facility, and I don't think they're gonna.
When
The
we
county
did our
doesn't need
lease
the permit
renewal,
itself.
the county certified that we were doing safe operations.
Oh, okay.
So, as Bob said, we're covered under the county lease, and anything that we do, we'll ensure that it's up to code. Like when we fixed the conduit underground here, and it was buried 18 inches, Tom and I rented the trencher, and, you know, we're not gonna do anything that's unsafe.
all right, any other questions on the issue? Is there a motion then to spend up to $7,000?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, moved by Lee, seconded by Dean. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question, I'll call for a vote in favor of authorizing up to $7,000 toward the purchase of a shed. Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
No.
With one no vote, the motion passes. Thank you. Okay, I don't have any other business listed.
Minutes approved.
Oh, okay. We can do that. Mr. Secretary, time for your report.
I make a motion to approve the secretary's report as emailed.
For the past 2
Well,
months.
hold on, for which month? Oh, for last month. Okay, so that would be
August?
August.
The month of August. Let's have a correction for either July or
September. September? That's the September minutes.
September.
So, okay, so Drew's motion.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
Okay, I could use a motion to approve the August minutes as well.
I make a motion.
We need a second.
Second.
Thank you, Al. Motion made by Mike, seconded by Al. On the August minutes as presented, and if they were amended, were they amended? Yes.
Amended.
Okay, is there any discussion? And all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. No, it does not. Okay, is there any other business that should come before the meeting at this time? Okay, the next board meeting will be on Sunday, November 5th at 1400 hours. The next general membership meeting will be Monday, November 6th at 1900 hours.
Motion to adjourn?
We have a motion, to adjourn. A second. Doug, go ahead.
I'd just like to bring up that there's a Ham Fest, Saturday, October the 7th in Tucson, RST. There's another one on November the 11th. Oro Valley is putting on a Ham Fest. It's in Tucson. Just like to call their attention. If you have any questions, I'm glad to answer them as to where and so on.
Okay. All right, thank you, Doug. I'm gonna have to include you as a regular report.
We used to.
Yeah, that's something that slipped by the wayside.
Just, you're tired of me, right? You're just tired of me, right?
Well, it must be. It should be, yeah, that's something that just slipped by the wayside.
Was there any old business?
So, all right, we have a motion to adjourn in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, say no. We're adjourned.
Stay here all
Yes, I am.
So you can report that